it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. Today is Saturday, Scrap-O-WEEN Day 16, and it's time for a flip through of some of the pages that I've gotten done in my October daily this week. So let's see here. We left off with the hashtag Facebook down story. And behind that, I made some more little coffins for some pictures that I took of my girls at the spirit store. And I titled it, Back in the Spirit Store, because we'd already been to the spirit store one time. But since my older daughter was home for fall break, I had to get pictures of both of the girls at the spirit store, and I made this little tag to go in to have all my journaling about being at the spirit store. And I had trimmed this out with my trimmer, and I think my blade needs to be replaced because it kind of made a jagged edge while I was trimming this paper out. But that gave me an idea to distress the edges of my tag. So I just took the edge of my scissors and kind of roughed up just a little bit all around my tag. So I just turned that little bit of a boo-boo into a design decision or design choice. So I've just tucked these into this little pocket, and I added a die cut from the October afternoon collection that I got from Peachy Cheap, and I added this little bit of detail here with just folding over a little bit of crepe paper. I just cut me a real thin strip and just fold, 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 fold after I had ran a line of ATG tape across the page there. And I finished it off with this little bitty die cut out of vellum of a little ghosty. Hopefully you can see that there. Maybe bring it up to you a little closer. The next thing that I did is I told the story of a flooding that we had in our area. We get fairly good amount of rain, but on this particular day, we've got just in our local area almost 12 inches in the space of probably about 5 hours at most. I mean, it just rained and rained and rained and rained, and there was flooding everywhere. There was a mudslide that covered up a road. And so I told the story of that on this panel here, just a little bit about it. And I used this die cut here from, I think this is from the Simple Stories Disney-esque Halloween collection. It came in like a warehouse box that I had gotten. And this double toil and trouble. Yeah, there was a bit of toil and trouble with some rescues that had to be done, and just the cleanup afterwards. I have this yikes sticker and the little skull here, and I have attached a little bit of ribbon for a flap lift, and I made it a flap. And I have some information about rain totals and how some of the flooding was at one of the creeks, and how our basement got a little bit of flooding in it. It had some water in it. We did not have a lot of water damage. We were very blessed. And so I just wrote a little bit of story about that and just put that in a flip in this 4x4 pocket. And on this side, I have a process video up for this page, and I was just talking about our trip to Six Flags for the Fright Fest they have, and I just think it's so neat. This gargoyle here in the back at night, he kind of comes alive, his wings move, and he has smoke comes out of his mouth, and they've dyed the water in the fountain red. And I made this into like a little pocket where I could just slip my journaling tag here behind the photo. And I didn't do anything really special with this. I just put this little bit of yarn on it and told about going to Six Flags and the fun rides that we got to go on and the decorating that they had done for Halloween. And then here I just printed out Thrills and Chills onto some vellum and stitched around it with a wonky zigzag. And then I made this little tab, flip tab here from, or with, the Tim Holtz Halloween dies. And I made the matching by, or the opposite where you could put them back to back. I just flipped my paper over when I ran it through my die cutting machine again. And here with this page, I've got all of these different little pictures from our trip there, and I made it into this grid, and I have one on this side as well. And I'm not quite certain what I'm going to do with it yet. I thought about putting some little decorations here at the corners or doing a little zigzag stitch to kind of match this. But I haven't quite decided yet, so that's still kind of up in the air. Not real sure just yet. And here you can see, now I used a different app when I made this collage than I did with this one because I was comparing. I was looking to see what the difference would be, because with this one I used a collage making app that I can't think of the name, but I'll have to maybe put that down below what the name of it is, because I wanted to see what the difference was between how this app made the collage and how the printer app made its collage. And the biggest difference is in the size of the border. And I think the border is too big for this one, but I like how uniform it is all the way around. And with this one, you can see this side is a little bit wider than this side. And even though it's the same size photo paper. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to like fix this one to match this one, or if I'm going to change this one to match this one. I haven't decided yet, so I'll figure that out when I decide, I think, if I'm going to do any more embellishing. The benefit of having a little bit wider border here is you have a little bit more room to put some embellishments that won't quite cover up your pictures. And then the next page that I did was I told the story about that the cold weather is coming. And it is coming, tonight. Actually, it'll probably, by the time this video is up, the cold weather will already be here. And I will be having on my very thick fuzzy socks and probably a sweatshirt and maybe even a sweater over that. And it's probably only going to be in the 60s. But that's going to be cold when your highs have been in the 90s. And then your high is in the 60s. That feels cold. That's a really big difference. So with here, I just made another tag using the same tag die that I made this one with. And I cut it out of this green with black polka dot paper that is from the October afternoon collection that I got. And then I just used a big tag as a foundation to put this screenshot that I took of our weatherman from on Facebook, his little spiel about the cold weather coming. And it's going to be in the 40s, y'all. The lows are going to be in the 40s. I'm going to freeze. I am literally dying. It's going to be so cold. And then I added this little bat that's October afternoon, I think it's from that same little collection, with these little word stickers from Tim Holtz that says all was dark again, because it's going to get dark again. It's really going to get dark when we switch back from daylight savings time, which I wish we would just stay on daylight savings time. I mean, that's my opinion. I like it to be daytime later in the day. But all was dark again, cold and slimy, and it's written in the skies. It's talking about the weather. And then I titled it Cold is Coming, and then I put these little die cut from vellum, little die cut ghosties, because that is me literally dying as in the cold. And then I made this little pocket here, and all I did was I took a treat bag and I cut it down a little bit and sealed it back up at the bottom. And then on the front, I made this little scene about our first movie for our Spooky Friday movie night. We started doing that last year, and the girls just absolutely enjoyed it. So we're carrying it over again to this year. And our first movie for Spooky Friday movie night was the movie, if I can get it out. Oh, I was pinching it so it couldn't come out. It was Space Invaders. This is a movie from, I think, 1990. I don't know if any of y'all remember that movie. It was so silly. I didn't even remember that it took place on Halloween. My husband, he remembered that. I did not remember that, and I was like, why do you want to watch Space Invaders? It doesn't have anything to do with Halloween. And he's like, it literally happens on Halloween. I'm like, well, so does Gremlins, but I don't know that I would call that a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie either, but we can argue about that on another video. But it was really a silly movie, and we did have fun watching it, except for one of my daughters fell asleep during it. I think she had been either up too early or had too much fun during the daytime, and she was tired, so she fell asleep during it. That's going to be our tale. And the rest of us kind of half watched it. I was doing something on my phone or something, and I would look up and watch for a few minutes, and then I would get distracted again. And my older daughter, she kind of was in and out, and my husband, he was in and out, but we still had a good time watching it. And then we were like, at the end, why did we like that so much? Why did we remember that we liked it so much or something? But it really was silly. It was a silly, fun movie to watch, and I'm glad we watched it together as a family. And I'm unsure if I'm going to do anything else on the back. I probably won't, but we'll have to see. I know there's certain places, like this tag here, I'm not quite finished. Once I get everything done, I'll probably go back through and just do these little finishing touches, like maybe putting some more tags. Or not tags, but little pull tabs, or just some more little touches here and there. And I might actually even need to get another album for the second half of October, because this one it's pretty chunky. I think I can probably fit a few more spreads in here. And then I'm gonna have to do something. And then the last thing I have in here is just a little divider page that's a piece of acetate with this rhinestone skull on it. So that is where I'm at so far. So I will see you hopefully in tomorrow's video, which will be Sunday, so it will be Killikit Sunday. So I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.